What does a book written by and with Web3 tools look like? My name's Sasha Stiles. I'm a poet, a language artist, and an AI researcher. I've been writing poetry all my life. I've loved art and technology and language and the intersection of all these things. And I've really just sort of found Web3 and the crypto community to be a really wonderful place. One of the most common myths about crypto and about crypto art in particular is that, it's kind of pointless to buy crypto art because you could just right click and save a JPEG, which I think is so funny because if you actually get to know a lot of the really interesting art projects that are being minted on chain, they are seamlessly interwoven with blockchain, with crypto, and with the protocols that enable it to exist. So one of the things I often talk about with blockchain, with cryptocurrency as a poet, is that for me, it's been really funny to sort of bring poetry and currency into the same conversation. As a writer who has often struggled with how to write the experimental and conceptual work that I feel really drawn to, and also try to make a living, those two things have been at odds with one another. The publishing industry, as we know it, is very much geared towards bestsellers and mainstream poetry, mainstream fiction. And now on the blockchain, I can publish a poem and I can essentially serialize it and I can sell it at very accessible prices, but it instantly becomes available to anyone around the world who wants to read it. And they can actually read it for free if they want, but if they want to own it, the way that I often want to own books and artwork that I really love, they can easily now buy it and have it in their own collection. So being able to use blockchain as a kind of, I would say, as a kind of bespoke printing press to put work out into the world and to really play with how I publish books and poems and texts, that's been really, really exciting. And to be able to do that and get them directly into the hands of readers. And I've been, in my own work, kind of teasing out different ways that might come into play, how the blockchain can do potentially for literature what Gutenberg and the printing press did for storytelling, hundreds of years ago. What does AI have to do with blockchain? I think it's become clearer and clearer what the two technologies can actually do when they come together, and the way that they can actually be very mutually beneficial and help us solve some of the problems. For example, we talk a lot about protecting creators' rights, protecting IP and making sure that folks are not having their work ingested into AI systems, ingested into models as training data without their consent or without compensation. Things like blockchain can be a really good way of helping to create ties between creators and the things that are produced from work that they have, offered up to a system, or from work that has been ingested into a system. How can we use this to really transform the creator economy, to really enable people to not only express themselves in ways that they've never been able to express themselves before, but then also be able to make a living, be able to actually pay the mortgage and buy groceries off that creative expression. And I think now more than ever, we really need more diverse voices. We need stories to be told that otherwise wouldn't be told. So rather than continuing to move in this direction of, throwing more and more money and clout behind the same very small group of best-selling authors, what I think is amazing about blockchain is the way it will enable us, is already enabling us to encourage lots and lots of diverse voices to make their way out into the world.